When it comes to all of these NHL players who are either getting loaned out to European teams, leaving to the KHL, or just plain old establishing their plans with other overseas organizations come the fall, we haven't really been talking about any of the ones that have been away from the Red Wings. Don't get me wrong, there are a whole bunch of other prospects from other NHL teams that are going overseas, but the Red Wings ones are the most interesting to me, and as a result, we've already made a video about the rumors on Dmytro Timashov. That was eventually shut down. We talked about Evgeny Svechnikov, still waiting on how that's going to go, and then we also talked about the speculation on Moritz Seider. Well, today, we have ourselves what appears to be probably the most secure out of those three that we mentioned previously, because today we're talking about Filip Zadina, because word has come out on the interwebs that Filip Zadina is looking towards starting his 2020-2021 season back in the Czech Republic. What is up, viewer? The Russian Velarx back here, and today we're taking a look at this article over here from idnes.cz. This is a website that posts Czech Republic news, and on this page we're taking a look at an article listed on their hockey section. This covers news on the Czech Extraliga, which is the #1 pro league in the Czech Republic. This article is translated from Czech into English via Google Translate, and the title reads this: Oceláři Třinec wants reinforcements from the NHL, and Detroit's Filip Zadina would also like to play under his father. Filip Zadina's father is the assistant coach of the Oceláři Třinec hockey team. So we're taking a look at this article over here. Oceláři Třinec is a team in the Czech Republic playing for the Czech Extraliga. If you've been following this YouTube channel since the NHL 14 days, and I mean literally 6 years ago, I would make videos on season modes where I played against other teams from around the world, and the Oceláři Třinec hockey team was a team that I very frequently included in this series. This team gave me a lot of problems, and I would actually find myself raging quite a bit when I played them. But let's read a little bit of this article to actually get ourselves some context as to what's going on here. Extra League team, the Oceláři Třinec, could be strengthened by NHL hockey forward Filip Zadina in the fall. The club and the player have confirmed continuing interest to idnes.cz, which is the website. The Detroit Red Wings Hockey Club does not have a problem with this engagement with the Czech Republic hockey team either. GM Steve Yzerman told me that he's not against it. He knows about Oceláři Třinec and that it's the best club here, says Filip Zadina. The agreement has not yet been reached because his insurance must be resolved. So, according to Filip Zadina himself, assuming this article is 100% truth, Filip Zadina was like, yeah, I want to play here. Steve Yzerman knows I want to play here, and he's on board with it. So once his insurance gets sorted out, I would assume we would get some news that Filip Zadina would be heading over to the Czech Republic to start playing hockey over there once again. Here's a little bit of a more in-depth excerpt as to what the actual hockey team is thinking about. They said this in that same article: we are definitely interested in Filip, even if it's only for a while before the NHL training camps start before the NHL season. Negotiations are still ongoing. Getting players under contract in the NHL to Europe is not easy, said Dita, Ondřejkova, a spokeswoman for Oceláři Třinec. So there you have it. This looks like it would be a short-lived experiment, something that only goes on before the NHL starts its training camps all the way back up in the middle of November and eventually gets its NHL season for 2020-2021 started in December. So probably somewhere from September to October to maybe the first little bit of November is where we will be seeing Filip Zadina play hockey games in the Czech Republic, assuming a deal like this does get done. It ultimately makes the most sense to have it like this because, again, just like the same thing we talked about in the Moritz Seider video, you have nothing to lose by having your young guys play hockey games. Just having them working out in the offseason and getting stronger is fine. But the opportunity to play games when other people aren't playing games is special, and for young guys who could use the exposure, it certainly could be seen as a valuable experience. And according to Zadina himself, that is exactly what Detroit and Steve Yzerman have. However, Just because one NHL team is okay with it does not mean that all the other NHL teams would be okay with something similar to this. Take a look at this. Other clubs do not want their youngsters to play in the Czech Extraliga. Filip Zadina, for example, who is an Ottawa Senators guy, was denied the ability to go to the Czech Republic because, according to them, the Extraliga lacks quality and Zadina would just catch bad habits from it. However, Detroit has no problem with the Extraliga. They know there's an excellent team, and Steve Yzerman wants us to play as many games as possible. So that's great to hear that Yzerman is on board with the idea of, okay, you got some time off, you're not doing anything with the Red Wings, go over to Europe, start playing some hockey games, and get that scoring touch back, refine your instincts, and start playing. In fact, it's not even just the Czech Extraliga that sent out offers to Zadina. According to sources, he was also offered contracts from teams in Sweden, Finland, and Switzerland. But either those teams could not sign a short-term contract, or they didn't want to take expensive players if they didn't know if they could drive fans to the stadiums. Which is a fair concern, but again, because the Oceláři Třinec team is in his home country, and the fact that his dad is literally the assistant coach, it makes a lot of sense as to why Filip Zadina would choose this team. In fact, I was kind of confused at first when looking at this, because I was like, okay, he played all of his minor hockey and junior hockey with the Pardubis hockey team, which is the team with, like, the flaming horse head or whatever. Yeah, I also played against that team in my NHL 14 series. These guys pissed me off because they would always beat me. But I was kind of weirded out. I was like, why is he going to Oceláři Třinec when he spent his entire career's worth of youthful, growing hockey in Pardubis? But apparently, you know, there's the connections there, and plus, they were a much better team last season, so it would make a lot more sense for him to go there rather than a Pardubis team that was struggling last season. But as for some final comments from Filip Zadina in this same article, he says this: "It's been quite long and a bit on my head, but I have great people around me, and maybe it will turn out that I'll play here in the Czech Republic in the autumn. Maybe Oceláři Třinec will work out. That would be very nice. I feel great interest from them, it just has to be resolved." So according to all these quotes, citing guys like Zadina and what he's saying about his own situation and what Yzerman is saying on the situation, apparently we're just waiting. We're waiting for the insurance to be settled down and for Zadina to actually sign the contract. It'll be for the short term up until the NHL season returns, but before that gets underway, we may be seeing some filthy Filip Zadina snipes all the way there overseas for the Oceláři Třinec Hockey Club. And again, just like the Moritz Seider thing that we talked about a few days ago, I think it was a week ago actually, yeah, I completely forgot. There's nothing to lose by having a guy go over and play some extra hockey games. Sure, the Ottawa Senators disagreed with that idea because they felt like their own guy was going to develop bad habits, but still, just getting out there and playing, in my opinion, is very important, and you have to take a look at that. Sure, you could develop some bad habits, I guess, but really, you've been in the NHL or the AHL for years now. What's a few weeks worth of Czech Republic gameplay going to do that will drastically alter your game in a very negative way once you get back to North America? In my opinion, it's kind of short-sighted to say, oh no, we're not going to let him play for a few months because he's going to develop bad habits, because you already have so much experience in the NHL or the AHL that bad habits developing in 2 months probably don't even signify a player who deserves to be in the NHL or the AHL, at least in my own humble opinion. But, of course, there's a reason why I'm not an NHL GM. If the Senators just didn't feel safe with having their own guy going over there and playing, then all the power to them. It's just Steve Yzerman is on a perspective that I align with a little bit more, where he's saying, yeah, you know, go out there, play. Play, you got nothing else to lose. And that's the same thing we had with Seider. It's the same philosophy we had with Evgeny Svechnikov and Dmytro Timashov, even though that was already shut down and dismissed. But if Filip Zadina can go over there to the Czech Republic and immediately just take over as the #1 scorer on that team for even a few short weeks, that's much better than seeing him not do anything, in my opinion, isn't it? He'll be able to get back into the groove of scoring goals, back into the groove of suiting up and playing on the ice, and I'd love to see Filip Zadina come back to NHL training camp in November and December, absolutely ready to light the league on fire. So talk to me in the comments what you think about Filip Zadina going back to the Czech Republic. I hope you enjoyed this video, and Bye.